In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to fix an Xbox One controller. Now, if your controller is not functioning, if it's not responding to commands, it could be for several reasons. And I'm going to show you one common reason as to why it's not. And what can possibly happen is that the buttons are clogged up. And a controller is heavily used. People eat when they're in front of it. Sweat gets in there, debris gets in there, hair, and it just clogs up like a paste inside. And as a result, the buttons and the joysticks aren't able to make contact inside the controller, and as a result, you get either partial use or it lags or no use at all. So I'm going to show you how to fix this. What you need to do is, you need to get 99.9% isopropyl alcohol, and I emphasize 99.9%, because that's the highest alcohol content that you can get. You want to make sure you have as least moisture as possible in the alcohol, because moisture can damage the internal electronics inside. So you don't want to have moisture. You want to get the most alcohol possible. Now they sell 99.1% isopropyl alcohol in most hardware stores, home centers. Okay, now once you get the alcohol, this is what you do. You need to take a cloth and you have to immerse it in the alcohol, make sure it's fully drenched with alcohol. And then what you do is you just rub around, and as you rub it around, you have to push the buttons and let the alcohol work itself inside. So rub like this all the way around. As you're doing it at the same time, simultaneously, make sure the alcohol gets in. With the joystick as well, rub it all the way around. That's very important. Don't just put the alcohol in, because if you're not moving the joystick as you're putting the alcohol in, the alcohol can overflow and go on the outsides. You want it to get inside. That's the goal here. Okay? So you do this, push it. Simultaneously. And do the same thing here. As you're doing it, push, and then move it around. Same thing here. Just like I'm doing it. All the buttons that are not working, just repeat the process. Just continue the same process. Same thing here. Alcohol in here, push down. Over here as well. Here as well. Now, if you notice that you're getting more functionality than it was before, but not 100%, then the next thing you can do is you can take some alcohol from the bottle and pour a very little bit around the joysticks, around the buttons. As you're pouring, move the joystick around, push it in, move it around as you're pouring. Make sure that it works its way in. So again, just like you do it simultaneously with the rag, with the cloth, you do it simultaneously as you're pouring. Now don't pour too much, just a very little bit. And do it with all the buttons that are not working. If there is debris in there, it should work. Now another thing you can do is you can open up the controller and you can check for any obstructions or anything that's inside that may be obstructing the buttons from working, because alcohol may not be able to reach all the way inside to where you want to go. So that's another thing you can do. So I put a link in the description below on how to open the controller and how to access the areas around the buttons, and then once it's open you can put some alcohol around where the buttons make contact with the internal part of the controller that's commanding the controller to do the things that you want it to do. The buttons make contact inside, and to clean out those areas as well. Now once it's opened, you can put some alcohol in here. If you look closer, you can see now you have more access to the inside. So what you couldn't reach when it was covered, now it's open. So you can stick the cloth in, soak this cloth with alcohol. You could stick it in right here, and then you could work the alcohol inside. So this is the important part. You see where the contacts, if you look very close, you can see that there's a contact over there. And if there's an obstruction, it won't work, or there'll be a lag. And this can be removed as well. This is a clip. And this is very important. Put some alcohol over here. Just rub it in. Here's another important thing. If it's not working, make sure this is connected. This is actually a socket. This has to be plugged in. If you look closely, I'm going to plug it in right now. If that got separated, it's not going to work. So there's a lot of moving parts here. Right over here. You see, this has to make contact. So here's another area where you can put alcohol. For this button here. So you have to access all this. So this is the benefit of opening it up. It's quite easy to do, and if you have to do any cleaning, now you have access to it. So there you go, how to fix an Xbox One controller. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please show your support for this channel by subscribing. Feel free to leave comments. Please like up this video, and thank you for tuning in.